evening, all you minties, and welcome back to another episode of Reels Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, and my lovely co-host, the Uncanny Omar.
Hi,
Hi.
how's it going, everybody? I am the Uncanny Omar, and with me, as always, is my wonderful host. If I'm the co-host, you're the host, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, let's call it that. And this is Near Mint Condition, our segment of Reels Talk, where we talk about video games and nope.
Nope,
What are we talking
not at
about?
all. We are
What do we
talking
do here?
about
What
so
are we doing
today.
here?
Yeah, we're talking about anything comic book related, movies and TVs. And today we're going to be doing a roundup review of Star Wars Andor season 1. While we did review episodes, I believe 1 through 10, we didn't
Yes.
review 11 and 12 yet. And so we'll kind of talk about those in a nutshell along with the entire season, just give our thoughts about that and how long we have to wait until season 2. And then we'll also talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special that came out on
I'm just playing around with the camera. I'm playing around with the camera. I'm sorry.
That came out on Friday, and if you haven't had a chance to see it, I highly recommend watching that. If you don't want to get anything spoiled about the holiday special, not that a lot of spoilers occur, but there are some cool little Easter eggs that happen that kind of talk about where we are at in the timeline with the MCU, and certain things get stolen from certain people. Maybe I don't know.
You are all hung up on that. Okay, let's talk about Andor first for the people that have seen it. If you have not seen it, maybe skip this part. Let's see here. I'm gonna put the little scroll at the bottom, little scroller. Make sure that you all know. Make sure here. So Andor season 1 spoilers.
Yes.
Okay, so for people that haven't seen it, we are going to be talking about spoilers and what we want to see in the show. Even though, if you think about it, the sequel to this is called Rogue One.
Rogue One.
And then the sequel to that is called
Star Wars
A New
New
Hope. So I don't know. But anyway, just in case, it is a good show. I've really enjoyed it. All right, Andor season 1. I'll be honest, I was more excited when I heard it called Endor. I was excited about the Ewoks getting their own show and having their own language, and I would have been happy with that. I'm not a fan of Rogue One. Granted, I've only seen it one time. I went to the theater. I saw it. People love it, and I get that there's a lot of love for Rogue One. Like, people love it. People that were like, I gave up on Star Wars, and this brought me back. I wasn't a fan. I just thought it was kind of a poorly edited mess. Like, the trailer that I remember getting, I was excited for that, and what ended up being the movie was something completely different. Not completely, but different enough.
Yeah.
So I went into this series. I'm like, okay, Star Wars, ups and downs, right? Loved for me really quick. I loved The Mandalorian. I thought that was a great series. Gave me and restored that hope in Star Wars for me. Ups and downs with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh gosh, there were some things that I really enjoyed and some things that I just could have done without. And Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, were up and down, up and down. Oh gosh, lots of downs towards the beginning. And then
for Mandalorian season 2.5.
2.5, yeah, and then it got good again. So with this, I was like, well, let's see what this is about. Holy crap. I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was not because what they did was release 3 episodes. I think the very first 3 episodes released together, and that felt like a little mini movie. That felt freaking like, you're slowly starting to build around this character of Cassian Andor, because it is called that, and you're starting to see what kind of character he is. You get to see Bix, you get to see all these other side characters, and you're building that world. And then the second set of episodes 4, 5, and 6, holy crap, that was so good. That was like, I don't know what I like better. I don't know if I like that or the prison better, because that was amazing. I like the whole, it works like your Ocean's 11 type of movie, like breaking in, getting the stuff, bouncing.
And then something goes horribly wrong and they have to kind of do it on the fly.
Hey,
And
bourbon and cranberry juice, baby, not just
yeah,
cranberry juice.
there's been a lot of people questioning what was in your drink today
Is
so
that the
far.
topic? Is that the topic for tonight?
Yeah,
What's in my drink?
interesting enough, on a Sunday night, they all think that you're just gonna be
All right,
drinking
please,
hardcore.
let me tell you what I drink. It's bourbon, a splash of cranberry juice, a splash of club soda, and a twist of lime with some ice. I love it.
All that just for tonight? Jeez.
I mean, this is a Sunday, isn't it?
I think I mean, yeah, it's a Sunday. I said 2 glasses of wine, I called it a day. Hey, quick question Cycle Cleveland has. Hey, Cycle Cleveland, it's been a minute since we've seen you on one of these, so
He's not,
hello.
and he's not yelling. What is it
Well,
with
he
him
was
not yelling?
earlier. He had all caps on earlier, but he said, "Should I leave this review and watch it?"
Dude, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't want to be spoiled by because we're gonna talk about the ending since we haven't reviewed the ending. If you want to come back and watch this after the fact, or about in 45 minutes, come back on to watch the Guardians of the Galaxy review that we're gonna do. That's you can do that as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's I wouldn't want to be spoiled about some of the twists and turns that happen in Andor, so it's kind of your call.
All right, look, you know what, man? Just stay, man. If you haven't watched, that's on you, okay? That's
Okay,
on
that
you.
is on you. That's
That's
been
on you,
information.
man. That's on you. Okay, so Andor. Yeah, it's really broken up into different segments, right? Like you have getting
Yeah,
to know the characters, where
he's
he's from.
smart.
We had a flashback that we never went back to, nor his sister.
Yeah, well, there's a season 2, so
Surprising.
I'm assuming that that's the only question I have after all said and done. What about Andor's sister? Why did we have these flashbacks to I mean, we got
I
the idea
thought
of
that
how
really
he
was gonna come in
well,
like
me
the
too,
after
because he
credit.
went looking for her, so I thought that was gonna come back around, but I guess they're really the only important part of those is that his relationship with Marva, right?
Yeah.
Marva Andor. I think that's really what they wanted us to get out of those flashbacks is how he came into her, I would say, possession.
No. It's gonna okay. So he's asking, does Mandalorian
Oh,
season 2 go
no,
directly into Andor?
no.
Think of Andor before episode 4. Mandalorian is after episode 6.
Yeah,
So it's after the original trilogy and
they're
before the
2
Force
separate
Awakens.
things.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch one to watch the other. It might
Dude,
help to watch the original trilogy, though. Just saying.
never thought I would see my Raza in space crazy and Mexican in a galaxy far, far away. I've done seen it all. Dude, how crazy was it that we saw a brothel in the first episode for a Disney
Oh, I
Plus?
know. That's right.
Like,
It was
in
crazy.
Star Wars and Disney Plus show. We know
Yes.
they were out there. We just didn't talk about it. We never
They
saw
never
it.
talked about it. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's not like it went crazy. We didn't see anything happening. It's just implied that it is a brothel. We know it's a brothel, but it's still Disney. It's still Disney-fied enough that we don't see in
Yeah.
brothel. It's not Game of Thrones brothels, guys.
Okay. Okay. Hey, baby steps. Okay, baby steps. Dude,
Yeah.
I started watching Wednesday with my wife.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about it yet.
It's like a version of Riverdale. Okay, we're going off topic.
Yeah,
but
we're getting off topic. All right,
stay
stay on target.
I'm
on
halfway
target.
through Wednesday. Anyways, but yeah, no, in Andor, I love the way that they split the season up into like the mini events, and that gives you, if you're someone like Cycle Cleveland who hasn't seen any of it, it kind of gives you like, okay, I should probably binge watch first 3 episodes, binge watch maybe the next 3, then the next 3, right? And then go on like that because it is kind of helpful to have as you're binging it, there's like an endpoint to each mini story that then all of it all culminates at the end of episode 12, which is the one we didn't get to review, which is where we see Cassian having to return to Ferrix because Marva has passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And we get some really beautiful moments between different characters. I never thought a droid would make me feel things until B.
What kind of things?
Well, just sadness.
Sadness. Okay, let's clarify.
He didn't want to be alone. In episode 11, he didn't want to be alone.
No.
And Brasso's like, well, come with me. And he's like, well, can you stay with me tonight? And it's just like,
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. I definitely felt for the little droid. But honestly, I mean, you felt, when I was a kid, I felt for R2. Didn't really care about C3PO. Got on my nerves. but I
He
really
did,
felt like I connected with R2D2.
yeah. But
Andor is
he
12
died.
episodes for season 1, and then season 2 is going to be another 12 episodes. There's 24 episodes that lead directly into the movie, and the actor that plays Andor, Amanda,
Diego Luna.
Diego Luna, is also a producer and has stated that the final scene what we'll see in Andor season 2 will be the scene that we see where the character's introduced in Rogue One.
Rogue
So
One.
that's really cool. So it really ties it
That is
together.
cool.
This
Yeah.
was I think we've talked about this a lot. What's up, Robert Marquez? That this felt like it could have been a space show that didn't need to be Star Wars. Every once in a while, you remember you're reminded that you're still watching Star Wars when they add stormtroopers in there. Like you're
Yeah.
forgetting
Star
you're
Wars
watching a
existed.
Star Wars show, and it's brilliant. Like the whole prison break scene, the whole prison scene, like the desperation in those scenes are so brilliantly done and shot, and the whole escape plan. You feel like you're watching a different kind of show. It's freaking awesome. And then
Yeah.
again, they remind you that, hey, you're watching Star
Yeah.
Wars.
They're still
Dude,
talking
that's
about the Empire,
who
and they're still talking about the Emperor, which I am surprised he didn't make a cameo, but I wouldn't be
doesn't
surprised.
need it. Doesn't need it.
It doesn't need it, but they talk about him so much, and you can feel the darkness of him and what he's done hanging in the air throughout every episode of this show. And then when Marva even talks about the darkness that's creeping in because of the Empire, and you can see that no matter where you go in the show, that darkness is there, whether it's in Coruscant with poor Mon Mothma and her daughter, who's basically the Hitler Youth, and the things she's having to do, like, the things she had to do. Like, she had to make up she had to make a scene with her husband, blaming him for their money and where it's going, even though he's not gambling, just so that she could lose the tail. And they think that she's not taking money to give to some kind of rebellion. And it's crazy the things they have to go through. And you don't see Jedi. We don't see Jedi in this. We see droids, which is a good reminder, of course, I guess, of Star Wars. And then the stormtroopers we didn't even see until I guess that in Ferrix in the funeral. That was the first time I think I've seen stormtroopers do anything.
Well, there was a flashback when Cassian Andor was in when he was younger, and then you saw the stormtroopers move in and they opened fire on citizens. Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. Are you angry, Manassas, or are you happy about that?
Is that happening? Because I haven't seen anything recently, but
I don't know. I haven't heard about that. Yeah, so oh my gosh. And then I cannot remember if we talked about Luthen, how cool and calm of a character he is. That when he's opening fire on that Imperial ship, and because it's got a tractor beam on it, and he's just like, oh yeah, hold on, give me a second, I'm a one-man show, and he's just clicking all kinds of buttons, not breaking a sweat, right? Knowing that he's gonna make it out. Smooth, man. That was so smooth. I love that. I thought that was
Stellan
great.
Skarsgård was an excellent addition to this piece of work and part of the Star Wars lore. I mean, he hasn't been in the Star Wars universe before, so of course, getting a chance to see him in the Star Wars universe is fantastic. Luthen is such an interesting character because what I love about the show is they show the gray areas in both, not just the Empire, obviously, because there's people who are just doing their jobs and don't realize that the Emperor is actually like
that Randall talks about in Clerks. It's like, what about the guys? It's just like, pushing numbers.
Yeah,
I mean, Skywalker killed those and murdered those people too.
Exactly.
Like, that's wonderful conversation.
I mean, they're just those guys, but then at the same time, you see Luthen and Mon Mothma who have to make these sacrifices. Like Luthen at the end of episode was 11 when he's like basically telling his spy, let them, we're going to let Anton Krieger go with his plan, knowing that the Empire knows about it. He's going to get killed, but that's a necessary evil so that they don't get led on to what we're doing or that there is a spy inside of the Empire. So, and then of course he wants to kill Andor to tie up any loose ends.
Dude, not just him, but also Angry Girl from Game of Thrones. What's her name?
Oh yeah, Val. Well, Val in the show.
They both want to kill him, and then the Empire wants him. And
yes,
Dude, what? And there's another story we haven't talked about, and that's a old dude from the Empire, like obsessing over what's her name, the oh my gosh, the ladies in charge of the investigation.
Oh, Deirdre.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And that's another character who, and that's what's great about the show too, is it, there's one part of you in the beginning up until maybe when she starts torturing Bix later on, where you want to root for her against all the other folks working in the ISB who don't think who think she's an idiot, even though we know she's not. She's actually onto something, and they all are trying to, go around her or prove her wrong. And we want to see her succeed, but then we realize, oh, but at what cost? It is, Bix getting tortured and then possibly Andor getting captured. And she plays that really well, where and then seeing her as this like evil, she just turns so evil, how quickly she's able to torture Bix, like with that.
Well, and it's one of those things that, oh, she's done this before.
Yeah, or she always wanted to, and it's just coming out.
This is not her first rodeo torturing somebody. This is definitely somebody that has done this before. And I cannot remember who is the guy at first that was in charge of the investigation, or thought something was going on and everybody was making fun of him. Eventually he lost his position.
It's Siler, is that his name?
Yeah,
it starts with an S. I can't remember his name exactly. There start to become a lot of people in the show, but I think it's Siler or something like that. But of course he has his own story as well, that you want to root for him, at the same time you don't want to root for him because he's still part of the Empire. Right. But he does save her life at the end, when she almost is nearly, I don't know, trampled on or almost killed during the fight that breaks out during Marva's funeral, which Cyril, thank you, Bert. Thank you, Bert. Yes. Cyril. Yeah. But let's talk about that funeral scene too, because Fiona Shaw, as Marva, didn't get utilized as much as I thought she would be, but every time she was on screen,
she was sick too.
She couldn't do much.
Couldn't breathe. So, not her fault. Not her fault. But definitely underutilized is what maybe you were trying to get at.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, but whenever she was on screen, she does command quite the presence, especially in her.
Dude, her own funeral. What about that speech?
Oh yes.
How did the stormtroopers or nobody in command go? Can somebody shut this off, please? Can somebody?
By the time it was too late.
She's like, you gotta fight the Empire, and he's like, oh shit, we gotta knock this robot down. Man, that was solid. That was solid.
Yeah, and that was a great scene too. Watching, just having the fight break out and seeing the Imperialists have to go in, or the Empire have to go in and fight. And some of these guys, I don't think they were ready for that. And obviously Deirdre was not ready to be in a kind of battle like that. It's not what she does. That's why she ended up, ending up on the floor, almost getting trampled on. And all I was hoping is that just don't kill the droid. Don't kill the droid. And Brasso, let him survive too. So that dude did eat a lot of cereal. He really did. That
dude ate a lot of cereal. Salar's the dude who ate brains from Hero. That was what was his name?
That was Zachary Quinto.
Quinto, but what was the character's name? Thank you, Bert, for mentioning that. Yeah, this is one of my favorite things that I found on the internet. Because my dude definitely has an obsession with old girl.
Okay, so that when he did save her, and she's like, I suppose I should.
Dude, all right, are they gonna kiss? What is going on?
Holy crap! Because he's like, you don't have to. I was like, was this here and I didn't realize
it? What's up, Jimmy Owens? How are you, my brother? I'm watching this video with sound off to avoid spoilers. Oh, dude, what a great idea.
Yeah,
her speech had everyone stopped in their tracks until they were like, wait a minute, she's talking to us, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Her speech was even moving Luthien. I think he's questioning his methods now. That was so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, he's breaking Bix out with the help of some friends.
Oh, Bix, man.
I mean, she's broken. She's like, Berserk Casca.
Oh,
No,
yeah, so it's
not that.
not that
Okay,
bad, but
nothing
pretty
is
bad.
that bad. Nothing is that bad. But
Yeah, you still see the glimmer of her there. But that's some
But
great acting.
yeah, he's able to break her out while everybody is outside, like fighting the Empire. That was really cool to see all these people take arms and start fighting. These people with
Yeah.
guns and lasers and advanced technology. You don't know exactly what they're capable of. And
Nope.
meanwhile, he's breaking her out, and you start to see this development of the character of Andor, who
Yeah.
he's becoming. I like that a lot, so I cannot wait for season 2. And he takes her out with his friends, and he
Yep.
lets them leave, which
Yeah.
surprises me that he didn't get on the ship, because instead he went over to Luthen.
Because he
And
knew he was there. Yeah.
dude, what do you think about that speech he gave him? He said, "You can either kill me or let me join you." Like, because there's a small chance that old dude was gonna shoot him and kill him.
I think he's wedging his bets that he knows Luthen well enough that he knows that Luthen needs someone like him on his team, and that's why, he wasn't really part. Like, what's interesting is Andor's evolution through all this. He wasn't really part of a rebellion in the beginning of this,
No, he
right?
wasn't.
He
No.
wasn't. Like, obviously Marva, who raised him, was part of this rebellion in some way, right? But he never was. He was doing his own thing, and he was looking for a sister, which maybe we'll see that pop back up in season 2. And then to see, because he finds himself in a situation he didn't ask for, which was those guys, those local police officers in that brothel, area, who just came after him, and then he ended up accidentally killing one and purposely killing the other one. Now all of a sudden he's in the crosshairs of the Empire, and it leads him down a path that opens his eyes, especially the prison episodes. That really helps open his eyes to what this Empire is really all about. And
Yeah,
yeah,
the capability, like keeping everybody hush. I thought that was really
uh,
interesting. What's really good about this show is that whenever you're watching Star Wars shows, or at least me,
yeah,
maybe it's just me, or you're watching Marvel shows, you're constantly looking for Easter eggs,
yes,
pausing scenes, like, oh, that's so and so.
yeah,
I wasn't looking for anything because you don't need it. Like what did we see in this episode? But we'll talk about the after credit scene, which to me was like, I saw a lot of people on the internet blowing it up like it's the best after credit scene. And to me, I was like, that's kind of like the weakest part of the show, just my personal opinion.
yeah.
Because yeah, no shit, we know that it's going to be built. Like I don't need to see it being built. But the only thing that I noticed in this episode was like the Death Troopers. Like that's it, and they were
Yeah.
because of Rogue One, and that's not even
Yeah.
an Easter egg. Like
No,
they're not pandering to the audience. Like they're not hand feeding us these things. I like that. This show is written mature and it's written smart, and that's why I'm digging it so much. I wish other Star Wars properties that will go unnamed, because I don't want to bring that up, would have done that. Because it would have made the shows better.
Writing we'd see in other properties that extend beyond just Star Wars as well.
Well, it's nice to see it in Star Wars again.
Yeah, because we've had some poor writing on Star Wars films and shows, not except for Mandalorian, aren't really known for the best writing that I can possibly send.
No, I'm digging this. Like I don't need to see no damn Luke Skywalker, young Princess Leia. This stands on its own, and this might stand as one of the greatest Star Wars series.
Yes.
Holy crap, this was good. I have nothing negative to say about this show.
Yeah,
the music was on point. The music was tense. It was like when it needed to be mopey and sad, it hit you whenever you were like, whenever they're breaking out, whenever they're escaping the prison. That music, the soundtrack, and the score was solid. The acting was great. I don't know. I don't really think. What about you? Do you have anything negative to say about the show?
No, I really don't, because honestly, I think the writing is so solid. And what I love about the writing is that you are going through all these different aspects of, Andor's life during this time, as well as we have to also tie in Mon Mothma's story and Luthen's story. And then, of course, we have the ISB and the Empire. And they do it in such a good way that we get to know all of these characters, even side characters that you want to feel for them, like Brasso and and Bix and things like that you wouldn't expect that we would get that much. Even Val, for the little time we see her, they just do such good writing and characterization of these characters that even the side characters don't come off as one note. Everyone's so well developed in this, and I think that's what really, yeah.
No. I was bringing this up to point out. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but so honestly, I haven't. There's nothing that really took me away from it. I mean, obviously, I have questions and I have things I want answered in season 2, but other than that,
Okay.
I really enjoy this.
So Matt's saying, and this is a good point.
Yes.
I think that was the kicker about the end credit scene was Andor was helping build the Death Star and didn't know. Andor basically helped build the thing that killed him. That's what I got from it. See, to me, I got that from everything else, like the prison, like they're building these things.
Yeah.
So this to me felt like I don't know,
unneeded.
A producer going, hey, you know what kids like? That big ass Death Star. Can y'all like maybe show it being built, tied into the universe? Yeah, all right, we got you, Troy, or whoever the hell.
It was basically like, just in case people didn't get what they were doing in the prison, in case, let's throw in the end credit scene just so they know exactly what he was doing in that prison.
Yeah, but no, holy crap, I haven't enjoyed a Star Wars. I haven't enjoyed a show sci-fi like this in a while. It was great. The parts they were building in the prison was for the Death Star. Same. I mean, Rogue One was all about getting the plans of the Death Star.
Yeah.
Same. Omar and Amanda, the actor that portrayed Cyril's friend that he traded hats with, played the police commissioner Matt Reeves, the Batman. Commissioner. Really? That guy did?
Really?
I've only seen the Batman once. Time
Me
to rewatch it again. Part of me wonders if Marva was telling the truth when she told him his sister. Oh, yeah. We all think that she's not, right? We all think that his sister's out there with the Ewoks, and then we're going to see Andor, the real Andor.
Not Andor.
I want a huge tank battle during the end of Galactic Empire War. Take some elements of the battle. I do want to see a big battle, like, because it is getting there. Like, we're getting little things and getting bigger. We get the prison break, and then we get the big fight at the end. I thought that was great. So we might get something big like that. And Matt, you said it, dude. When that stormtrooper got kicked off that damn bell tower, how satisfying was that?
Yeah. He was like, and it kept down. It was really funny.
I was, we know the fate of all these people, and it sucks, right?
It does
but
suck.
It still works.
Yeah, it still works.
Do you think that's how they're going to introduce Mara Jade Fargate? No way. No, I don't even know if Mara Jade will make it into the Star Wars TV shows. We haven't even gotten. Well, everybody expects Dr. Aphra to show up. But Mara Jade, that's just that's been a rumor for a long time. Come on, that's been a rumor since the ending of The Force Awakens, right? That she's supposed to show up. And I don't want to spoil who Mara Jade is for people that don't read out into not just the comics but also the novels, and just mainly focus on the TV shows and movies. But yeah, nothing. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing negative to say about the show. It was a grand old time. Actually, was disappointed there was no Jar Jar and cowbell. We get more cowbell, please.
Cowbell, I guess.
I really am trying to think when we reviewed like the first few episodes and when we reviewed all the way to episode 10. Did I have any issues? Maybe it was the pacing.
But that was really in the beginning.
Yeah, and maybe when you see it all together, how you needed that slow pacing at the beginning to get to where you are. Because to me, he wasn't a very likable character, and you didn't really trust him. I mean, the dude shot somebody when he was opening up too much and was trying to get him to betray people. He was kind of a coward, but he's growing on me. Oh, it was good.
That's just cool. A testament to Diego Luna.
When I was about to make that, I made that joke to my kid. We were watching it together. I'm like, oh my gosh, stormtroopers are actually hitting people.
Usually when you see the Star Wars battles, the stormtrooper shots never make it. It feels like, because they always have Jedi fighting them, and Jedi are a class above. But that final scene when they all go to battle, I mean, you saw people die, and it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was adult sci-fi. It was not kid sci-fi at all. I
Hey,
mean, you know
it's
what I
no
mean?
Game of Thrones. It's no Game of Thrones.
Well, no, nothing they'll never do. Well, the day that happens on Disney
Maybe.
Plus, I'll be shocked. But yeah, completely enjoyed this season. Cannot wait for season 2.
So before we move on to our predictions for season 2 and what we want to see, what would you and anybody that watched this season give Star Wars Andor season 1 out of 10? Ladies first.
For me, there's nothing I know it's hard to give something a 10 out of 10, but honestly, I had no issues with Andor.
Mhm.
And I love Diego Luna. I didn't know what to expect going into this because I loved his character in Rogue One. I know you weren't a fan of Rogue One, but I loved Rogue One a lot because of his character. And so I was hoping this was going to be good. I was happy that I was right, that it is good.
You were right. You love the you're always happy when you're right.
So I would give it a 10 out of 10. It was fantastic.
10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. Love it. That is your honest opinion. I love that. I think I'm gonna go with 9.5 out of 10 because I do remember in the first couple of episodes a little bit of a slow burn, not a likable cast or likable character, but man, they picked up great. Acting was on point, score was on point, special effects. I don't think I can even gripe about the special effects because they use practical effects. Obviously, that little robot, they made that little robot.
Oh, so great.
And that's freaking awesome. And we don't have these, like, it definitely is a guy wearing the suit whenever it was aliens. We don't have these over-the-top Jar Jar Binks CGI aliens in the show.
We don't.
They're not all over the show. Those are definitely stormtroopers instead of CGI 10 stormtroopers walking down the street. I will say that, yeah, this is 9.5 out of 10. This is, so far, it's crazy because I think this is better than Mandalorian. And I love Mandalorian. Mandalorian to me was like, wow, this is amazing what they're doing with Star Wars. This gives you that, like, the idea that there might be so much more out there that they could do with this franchise that hasn't even been tapped yet.
Yeah. What I like about the two of them is they are different in the respects of how they're telling the
absolutely
story.
Yeah, Mandalorian is like your samurai movie, right? Like a Western.
Exactly. And this is like 4 mini movies rolled into. But yeah, 9 out of 10. So Bert gave it 9 out of 10. Who else gave it? I see
9.5 out of 10. The acting was great. Plot was a little slow. 9 out of 10. Andor 10 out of 10 is correct. It's way exceeded expect. I love that. Mary J 8 out of 10. Quit with spoilers. Lionheart. I rewatched Rogue One. I'm gonna rewatch it. That's how much I like this show. I'm gonna go rewatch Rogue One. I think
you'll be pleasantly surprised in the second take. Yeah, right. B2E. Who had to do that?
Oh, come on. But they punched Baby Yoda in Mandalorian, remember?
I know, but that's what started the fight. When they pushed
Wasn't the guy that punched Baby Yoda, what's his face, Ted Lasso? Wasn't that him?
No, it was oh shoot. It was another comedian, not Jason Sudeikis. No, it was Adam Lowley. You don't know who he is. He was in the Mindy Project.
Yep, that's where that conversation ends. I still haven't seen it, but I don't mind spoilers. Plus, I thought Rogue One is forgettable, but Darth Vader saved the entire movie. I feel like Darth Vader was the producer saying, okay, we need something big at the end. And I feel like the plot that I wanted got scrapped because they needed to focus on Darth Vader, which was really cool. You think Darth Vader showing up in the next season? That's what I want to talk about next, what to expect here. Yeah. Andor was a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. A 10. This is my Star Wars. Better than Mandalorian. Even with knowing Andor's fate, it is suspenseful. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I usually, with prequels, I have issues with because you know where it's going, right? Like Smallville, I always had an issue with because you knew where it was going to end up. The Sopranos prequel, what was it called? The Saints of Newark, I think. Yes. That was, you know where it's going to go. But with this, I was like, I don't care. I was joking with Amanda about what's his face, the Andy Serkis.
Yes.
I was like, is this the beginning of Snoke because he couldn't swim? This is how we get into Snoke.
I mean, do you want to see his character come back, or do you want it to
No,
be
no.
like we don't like he's
He
off screen? We
stole
don't know.
he stole the show. My dude shows up and he stole the show for 3 episodes. That
He
dude
did
kills.
do.
Like, man, he's so good. Good
Yeah,
director, great CG actor, great actor.
and
This
he's
dark
still
Cyril
around.
stealing from his mom, wine, mom, Mothma, selling out her daughter, and Cyril's buddy drinking after the big uprising against the Empire. Man, I want to know what happens to those two characters next season. Are they going to be together? As someone that only watched Star Wars movies, can I watch this show? Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially if you saw Rogue One, William. If you saw Rogue One, yeah,
You're good.
absolutely.
Yeah, you know enough
Oh,
about
so it
the
was Ted
Empire.
Lasso. See,
It
I told
was.
you.
Yeah, it was.
They do use Marva's brick to smash Imperials. That was
Oh,
awesome. Wasn't that awesome? Wasn't that awesome?
oh,
Omar hasn't seen it. There are some things that I don't need to see, but I'm okay with it. It's funny because I don't like New Girl or Mindy Project, but I'm okay watching Sex in the City. Rogue One was fantastic. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Amanda liked it. It was just me. I'm the one that didn't like it. Revenge of the Sith is still the best Star Wars because it has politics, grand battles, lightsaber fights, space battles, emotional, the entire movie. I don't even know how big that number is out of 10. Wow, you really like it. I love that. I love that everybody has a different Star Wars movie that is their favorite. That ripped my heart out. Circus killed. Yes, he did.
yeah.
Sure.
Because he's like, I can't swim, and it,
Rogue One was the best Disney Star Wars movie.
I did. I am surprised. I'm surprised that I didn't know you didn't like that film because it for me was one of my favorite Star Wars films.
It was. I'm
I
not
was
saying it was
surprised.
horrible. It was bad. It was just there. It was okay.
Yeah,
I had no idea people loved it though. Like people are like, oh, it's the best. Like my buddy who's a big Star Wars fan.
yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, it's the best Star Wars movie since, yeah, the old school ones. I'm like, really? Okay. To each their own, though. The fact that we had Circus Whitaker comes back
I
in this
know.
role. Skarsgård all in one episode for side roles, blows side roles, not even main.
I know. They're
characters.
just
Isn't
all
that
playing
cool?
supporting actors, but they kill it in their roles. And I mean, I'm assuming we'll see Forrest Whitaker back next season, right? I mean, obviously he plays a big role in Rogue One with Jyn Erso. So will we
Yeah,
see him back?
dude. You know what I saw actually? That before I even watched the show, were people complaining about Diego Luna's accent, and I'm like,
Really?
did we forget about all the British people's accent in the original Star Wars movies? They obviously had a different accent than Luke Skywalker and Han Solo.
Yeah.
Accents have always been a part of Star Wars. This isn't something new. Or did it bother these people because it was
It was a Hispanic accent and not a
not a
yeah,
British accent, which is
not a
little
British
different.
accent because they're used to that because the British steal
I
all the
heard
good.
someone didn't like Andor because he had bricks and screws. I was like, what the? The internet can be so dumb.
What?
Understatement, my brother. Omar, which do you like more, the sequels or Rogue One? Oh. What a hard question to answer. I like some of the sequels. I actually didn't have an issue with Force Awakens. I thought Force Awakens brought a lot of hope to the franchise again. Did I have an issue with Last Jedi? You damn right I did, even though people love it. And I had an issue with the final, what was it, Rise of the Skywalkers or whatever.
Rise Powers.
I've seen that movie one time. When my daughters and I rewatch Star Wars, it's weird. We watch 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3. We don't really talk about 7, 8, and 9. I'm sure we will, and time will tell. This is a thing that time will tell too. I mean, when episodes 1, 2, and 3 were coming out, people were hating on them. And look how many people here. I mean, there was a guy here that was just talking about how great
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith was. When I was going to the theater, people were like, "This is
hand the
horrible."
crap out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, people were.
I
like,
saw it on opening night. I waited in line for a midnight showing, but apparently,
people hated it. I mean,
yeah.
It just goes to show you, time will tell all things, and the internet is not always right. So it is going to be interesting to see 10 years from now how people feel about the sequels, because there's a whole generation growing up on those movies. Oh, I remember when my dad took me to go see Force Awakens. That was the first Star Wars movie I saw, and it means a lot to people.
It does. It is hard for me. The only thing I think I've rewatched for the Rise of Skywalker is on YouTube. Someone did a mix of Adam Driver with "I Need a Hero" by Gotti, and he's running through to go save her. It never
Like the real "I Need a Hero," the classic
song, playing. Yeah, that's all I've rewatched. It works out really well, actually. So
Watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars. There's an arc called the Umbara arc. Star Wars: The Clone Wars is excellent, by the way,
Yeah.
and it's like the Vietnam War. And it's cool to see some of those characters actually come into the Disney Star Wars TV shows and
Yeah.
in movies. The
Yeah.
next season is the last one, which it is. Are they going to jump ahead several years closer to New Hope? Well, it'll be closer to Rogue One, right? So,
Yeah.
we honestly don't know how close we are to New Hope, other than the Death Star being built.
Yeah, because we don't know how far Mon Mothma and how far the Rebel Alliance was from Rogue One to New Hope, like for the formation. So there, we could actually be a lot closer than we think.
Brad is saying the prequels got better with each release. Yeah, I believe
I would
that.
agree with
I
that.
think
I mean, Attack of the Clones was a little.
we reviewed Attack of the Clones. Remember, was it really that bad?
We did. We'll have to maybe do the sequels.
Yeah,
Now
we
that
might
they've
have to
all
do the
come out.
sequels. I think it's been long
Yeah.
enough. Woo! We're gonna get
Yeah.
tore
I
up.
know we've got some gaps in releases coming up here, so there might be some chances for us to do that because, yeah.
This Last Jedi was a slow car chase scene. Horrible, terrible. I can talk about the Last Jedi when we review it. Episodes 2 and 3 were far better than episode 1. I I don't know if I want to go in there. I saw Mark Hamill doesn't like the sequels either.
He was in two of them.
Was he though? I
Was
saw all
he
3 of
now?
the prequels at midnight back in the day. My favorite story to share about going to the movie theaters was the episode 1. I mean, for us that grew up in the 80s and watched these movies and were ready for Star Wars after the special editions, it was insane. Like, there was no internet where you pre-bought tickets. You had to go there, you buy your tickets in the morning, come back at night. There was no assigned seatings. You got to sit next to strangers, and it was the weirdest movie experience I had because I remember sitting next to somebody that was speaking Klingon to another guy that didn't speak English but knew Klingon Sailor Moon phrases. And I was like, this is only in a Star Wars movie that I get to experience this.
Yeah, it's so weird because Klingons died for the Star Wars universe.
I thought this was 5 years before Rogue One.
I don't. It might be, but I think someone roguish type said that they were going to do 5 seasons, with each season being 1 year, but then they lowered it to 2 seasons to lead it right up to Rogue One. So they may have changed the timing of everything based on not wanting to do 5 seasons. And I can see, honestly, I see Diego Luna saying, "I don't want to do 5 seasons." That's
you're committing to 5 years.
That's 5 years. That's a long commitment to a character, and we're not seeing people do that anymore. I mean, I think even with the Marvel franchise, with some of the newer contracts, I don't think anyone has a contract like Robert Downey Jr. had, or Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, and all of them had back in the day of the late aughts. So
this is why we need new people so they can get those contracts. Each season, okay. The next season is supposed to be 12 episodes with 3 episodes covering 1 year spanning at the start of Rogue One. I like Force Awakens and Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker, not so much. In an interview, Hamill said he had to pretend like it was a different character than Luke because a Jedi would not act that way.
It's true.
I think season 2 is going to jump ahead multiple years between episodes.
Okay.
I think it's like 5 years. Oh, kind of like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. All right, what do you want to see, Amazing Amanda, in season 2 of Andor? What do you want to see?
What do I want to see? So obviously, I want to see more of what Mon Mothma is doing behind the scenes, and if
you want to see her getting her get up.
Yes, her white long get up. I want to see if her betrothal with her daughter pays off, and I want to see her husband. God, that guy, he gets on my nerves. So something should happen to him. But other than that, I do want to see if there is something behind Andor's sister. That's the biggest mystery that I know maybe it's nothing and it was just something to start the story off, but I'd like to think that there is something more there and we're going to see that occur next season. That's the biggest mystery for me that I'm hoping to see solved. And maybe more backstory a little bit on Andor. But other than that,
you mean back to that after he
leaves?
We got a little bit of it in the final episode, right?
Yeah, a little bit. But I just want to see, where we go from there with Andor's sister. And I want to see, I want to see the formation of this Rebel Alliance. I'm excited to see that. I mean, because by the time we get to Rogue One, they are formed for the most part, the ones that are going to be fighting in New Hope and everything like that. So I want to see that come to fruition. So now, of course, Whitaker, because we know his character kind of, by Rogue One, he's gone militant.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get to see characters from Rogue One in this. Like, I think everybody expects the robot K2SO to show
Yeah,
up.
but
Right?
Matt Gersh say, yeah, because we saw the robot.
We did see them, and one of them has to
K2SO,
be reprogrammed, I assume.
right? Yep.
And the guy that he escaped with, he's in the crew too,
Melshi.
isn't he?
Yes, so Melshi will probably return. I'm hoping we'll see Melshi return as well.
Yeah, I don't know about everybody else. Like, if the crew is going to be all together, or yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Or if we're going to see characters like Orson or Galen show up.
Might.
But I can't imagine them coming here. Don't at me. I want to see Cyril and Deidre get.
Yeah. Obviously,
I
there's.
thought they were gonna like.
They were really gonna hook up.
They were gonna hook up. Like, he's all like, "Woo!" That got her all worked up, and he's all about her. So yeah, I'm surprised that didn't happen in that scene.
Yeah, Fargate said Jimmy Smits. That would be interesting.
Like the actor showing up, or his character, Bail Organa.
Bail Organa showing up, obviously. That would be.
Apparently, there was a comic with how Andor and that was the prequel, I think. Right, the prequel. They were releasing prequel comics back then.
Yeah,
Cyril's a creepy stalker. He definitely gives that Crispus, or what's his name, the guy. Yes, that vibe. Yeah. You see, like, I don't know if it's the hair, I don't know what it is, but he's got
his
that
eyes.
vibe.
I think it's his eyes, and
yeah,
he looks. Yeah,
he looks like somebody that would get obsessed easy. So
uber creepy.
Yeah. So that is our review for Andor season 1, and a little bit of our expectation. Well, I didn't talk about what I want to see. Oh yeah,
what do you want to see?
Honestly, what everybody else wants to see. I of course want to see some of the crew show up. K2SO, who stole the show. I don't think they'll get Donnie Yen to come in for a little cameo. I really don't
never
see that.
Say never.
Then they get Disney money, but
well, do they?
Does it really need it? Does it really need big names to be drawn in? I think the show stands on its own. I do want to see these characters that we don't see in Rogue One. I want to see what ends up happening, like whether they get killed or whether they have a happy ending with a bunch of Ewoks on Andor. Yes. I want to see Ewoks. That's really what it comes to.
Yeah.
The Deidre actress was in a canceled Game of Thrones. Oh, the
one that Naomi Watts was supposed to be in?
Yeah, that was the one with Naomi Watts.
Oh. Well, this is probably a better option for her. Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
She's owning this role, so I'm okay with that.
She's really,
All right, now we're going to shift the gears to...
Nope. We already reviewed that. Hey, the placement now I've realized we should have... That, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's the...
Amanda and Uncanny Omar holiday special. That's right. Welcome back to the show. So we are going to be talking about spoilers about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more upbeat. This is definitely not about war and imperialist. This is just about poor, sad Peter Quill and his friend.
Good, buddy. Go watch it and come back here anytime. And bacon.
And bacon. Yes. So it's just about, our Guardians wanting to give Peter a Christmas he'll never forget, because apparently Yondu ruined his Christmas a long, long time ago in an awesome Star Wars holiday special animated style opening.
Dude. Okay, so my family's watching it. We're watching it together. And I turn to my brother and I'm like, that son of a bitch gave us some fake trailer scenes. You know how you did in like episode or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2?
Yep.
They film actual fake footage to throw in a trailer. And I'm like, this stupid show is going to be animated. And I think my other brother was like, I told you. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to be live action. But it was just the prelude to what happened with the flashbacks.
Yeah. of Kraglin telling Mantis about Peter trying to bring Christmas to the Ravengers, but of course, Yondu was not having it. And apparently he ruined his Christmas. And of course, so we learn a little. So what's really interesting is they throw a big thing at us right here in the beginning with Mantis wanting to give Peter a special, Christmas he'll never forget because she feels bad because she's his sister, half sister, and that did you put spoilers up? I feel like I should have spoilers flying right now.
Uh,
Um,
I'm going to. I'm sorry about that.
which I guess they never said that in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that Juan
No, but I mean,
so that
makes sense.
she was one of his children, but now it makes sense completely. And so she doesn't want Peter to be reminded of his father. And so she decides with Drax that they are going to get Peter something that he'll never forget for Christmas, and that is Kevin Bacon, because he's the hero on planet Earth, which they already met all the heroes of planet Earth. I don't know why they didn't ask why Kevin Bacon wasn't there at the final battle in Endgame, but that's fine.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, like come on now. But it's all fun in games. And we also find out they bought Nowhere from the Collector. So the Collector made it out of Infinity War because I wasn't really sure, in that scene, he had decimated it, right? The planet.
Yeah.
So we thought, I assume maybe the Collector, he probably had fled.
Bleed. I like bleed.
Yeah, so they own Nowhere. They're trying to, fix it up, make it a reputable place again. And we get the old 97s, a band from the 90s who does a lot of the songs in this special as well. And they
Was it Kevin Bacon's band? Because it sounded like something
no,
Kevin Bacon
not
would have.
Kevin. It is a band called the Old 97s, not Kevin Bacon's band, but he does play with them for that particular song. He does the end there.
Gotcha.
But it's not his band. And obviously they're trying to bring Christmas to Nowhere. And yeah, Peter's sad because of Gamora that he can't find her. So they decide they're going to go to Earth and kidnap Kevin Bacon. For them, they don't see it as kidnapping, I guess, but they're going to kidnap him. And what we get is basically hilarious scenes of Mantis and Drax on Earth. They, I think my favorite part is when they're walking down. They're in LA, obviously, because that's where Kevin Bacon is. And they see they're at the Chinese Groban Theater, and they see all the people dressed up as like Steve, Captain Rock, Captain America, and then the GoBots.
Okay, first of all, Psykill.
Huh?
Psykill from the GoBots.
Sidekill from the GoBots, yes.
Which makes me think, okay, Hasbro owns, but then again, he took a lot of liberties with this because he was name dropping Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Well, he does now. He is.
I know, but it feels like James Gunn was just having fun. And you know what? Disney was like, you know what? If we get some kind of weird strike, we'll pay for it. It's worth it. It's James Gunn. Let him have his fun.
They've made mentions of like Superman and stuff before in the MCU.
Right. And does it mean that there has, but not name dropping like Bruce Wayne and Batman?
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like it's public domain that you can just use it. The thing is like people, I'm in Transformers Facebook groups, and people are like, oh my God, Transformers are real in the MCU because Hasbro owns both Transformers and GoBots.
Okay.
But the it doesn't mean that they're real. It just means that they're playing a character. It could be like them dressing up as Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse isn't a character in the MCU. It's just that
Mickey Mouse exists.
It's like somebody, when you go to Vegas, when you go to Hollywood Strip, like it's of somebody playing a character. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right.
Yeah, so the plot goes pretty quick. Both of them are trying to find Kevin Bacon. They run into a GoBot. Drax's cousin got killed by a GoBot. So he goes and beats the crap out of Psykill.
Which is fantastic, by the way.
They take a bunch of selfies and make a lot of money. And
they go to it's a gay bar, right? Because Drax definitely gets hits on, which was hilarious. And he's so oblivious. He just wants to drink and have a good time. And then I love how Mantis, she really had to, we don't ever get to see Mantis really act out of like her supposed role within the Guardians, right? So this is a really good chance for her and the actress to shine as Mantis. You really see a lot of Mantis we haven't really seen before. Like when she yells at Drax about this Zarguts, she's like, stop talking about the Zarguts, because he's the only one who cares about the Zarguts, for example.
Mhm.
And, you know, when she goes and uses, when she's drunk and the lady's like, oh, you want to know where Kevin Bacon lives? And tries to hand him the map. And she's like, you'll give me that map for free and you'll give me all your money. Like this little thing she does. Or when they're at Kevin Bacon's house and she's trying to rationalize with Drax that the candy cane is not a man.
Oh, that conversation made me laugh. Like maybe and honestly, maybe watching this because I'm just watch some holiday movies with the family. Maybe I was ready for something like this. I was ready for just stupid fun, which is exactly what this is.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, they go and kidnap Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, real Kevin Bacon.
To his house. Kevin Bacon's by himself, sitting at home.
Yeah, why was Kira not with him?
And I love that everything is decorated outside, even though like it's a gated community and it's a gated home and nobody can get in. It's just for him and his family
Hollywood,
to enjoy.
Man.
And both of them, come in. I love the fact that like Drax starts trying to kill people, like the police officers, and she reminds them like, "Hey, Drax, don't kill."
Yeah, right.
And he was upset, and to make it up to the police officer, she gives him the big candy cane.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, I guess we'll take it. She's like, this doesn't look like a man who does it. They're like, no. That was great. I mean, there's a lot. It was just a really cute movie. It mostly focused on them. Obviously, Pratt played the straight man for the most part in this special. Star-Lord was not really cracking a bunch of jokes. He was definitely the straight man, but everyone else was playing their part. And I loved how they set up the big reveal. They had the Christmas music playing, and they let him out into the square, and they wheeled Kevin Bacon out.
He's like, "Who's in there? What's going on?"
He's like, "I can't breathe," and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" It was great. And then the whole gag about hating actors, which I find always funny because these are actual actors, and they say actors are disgusting. And
yeah, that was a weird line to throw. I tell you what really didn't to me stick to like I had an issue with the Groot outfit,
which is not an outfit. I told you. So
I don't
on
care.
Instagram, someone asked
I thought it was an alien wearing a Groot outfit. And I'm like, why does he have a baby face? It doesn't make any sense.
CGI. Yeah.
And I assume it's like, it's a different Groot because it's not the original Groot. This is baby Groot now growing up and he's hitting puberty. We saw teenage Groot, and now what do we have? Adult Groot, young adult Groot. I don't know what it is.
Yes. Riv chat.
Different universe. Thank you for the super chat, Riv. But different universe, my brother. Keep in mind, remember that was Foxman, not
didn't mean nothing.
Not MCU.
We could still get a Foxman.
Sure. He just needs to get those sideburns going.
That's easy enough.
But thank you for the super chat. That is true though. They could come back and say it was a variant. Exactly. But honestly, this is what I wanted out of this stupid show. Fun, jokey, with some heart. And that's exactly what I got.
With heart. Yeah.
Which isn't a lot to ask for an MCU show or a movie, but for some reason
it has been.
It's been, well, I tell you what, I went into this thinking, oh man, I don't need another Thor Love and Thunder. This is going to be just as stupid. It's not going to be funny. It's not going to be heartfelt. They're going to try to land the jokes. But no, there were, I'm not going to lie, not everything made me laugh. Some of it made me roll my eyes. Some of it made me think, oh, this is trying way too hard to make this joke happen. But a lot of it made me laugh. It was, like I said, it could be the season, could be that I'm in the mood for Christmas and I'm ready and open up my small little Grinch heart. But I enjoyed it more than I probably should have.
Yeah.
Outside of the Groot outfit,
it was CGI. That's what James Gunn said. It was CGI.
I don't care what James Gunn says. That is a
believe James Gunn says that outfit. No, yeah, it was, there were some things that were hit or miss for me, but overall I really just enjoyed it. Especially, I think the ending. I loved when they all start to get their, when Kevin Bacon decides to stay and he does his song and everyone's getting presents. Like, what was Groot's present? He gave everyone like claymation, like what are those things?
Like how first of all, he's really crafty. I looked at my brother who can do those things and I'm like, look, you're Groot. And
he's Groot.
Except he's faster than you are because he just popped up with these things. Because I'm like, this just happened.
Yes.
Kevin Bacon got to sing this song, which, by the way, my friends have seen him in concert. Apparently, he is really good. I didn't even know Kevin
Well,
Bacon
he
sang.
did sound really good. I'm so surprised now we haven't seen Jeremy Renner sing because he released some songs in the last couple of years during the
Mhm.
pandemic. I thought that was a thing that was going to happen. No,
But
I
then,
really enjoyed it.
I'll tell you what, man, I got a little misty eyed when the little flashback with Yondu actually giving him a present
That was beautiful.
with the
His,
guns, right?
his blasters. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think I teared up when Mantis revealed that she was his sister, and when he's like, "That's the best present I could have ever gotten,"
yeah,
and
that was
I was there.
sweet.
Oh my gosh, I'm still thinking
Because
about it right
he
now.
doesn't have anybody. I mean, that's his family. Like the Guardians are his family.
Mhm.
So yeah, get ready to cry for volume 3
Oh,
because
I
we
don't.
know
Yeah, if that's a
this
taste of what's to
this is
come,
this is done. I mean, this is the end.
yeah.
That
At
sounds
least with
so
the
brutal.
Guardians as we know them now, right? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure Chris Pratt will probably move on. He's probably done. I don't think we'll
But
see.
I mean, honestly, Star Lord wasn't in my Guardians growing up. It was all about Major Victory and all these other characters that they could reintroduce
Oh yeah,
and bring in somebody else with a different take. James Gunn is leaving to go to DC, so
got his hands
good for
full.
him.
Oh, don't
Anything
forget
else?
about Bucky's arm. Wait, we can't
Oh
forget
God, we gotta talk
Bucky's
about
arm.
Bucky's arm
I've
because
got it.
Amanda made a big deal about it.
I was like, how did he get it? I'm so like, because I'm still trying to figure out the timeline because
Yeah.
in Love and Thunder, also Groot was still teenage, like preteen Groot or whatever he was from Endgame, and now he's like hulked up or bulked up. So this is after they left him, obviously. So no one will see that over and over again.
I love that you were just so all about this. It's so funny.
So
I
yeah,
think it was just a joke, but
if it comes back around in Thunderbolts, I'll tell you. I'm gonna say I told you so.
in Thunderbolts where he's
Somehow
missing an arm,
in
going, "Where'd that
Thunderbolts,
damn arm
Bucky
go?"
makes a comment about his arm upgrading of his arm. I'm gonna laugh. I tell you, it'll be just perfect. I
But
hope
it
it
makes
happens.
sense. They share the same universe, so it makes sense that his arm would be missing. I
Yeah,
just
it
thought
would
it
be
was
great.
a little joke that yeah, not too much to think about. Um, yeah, I don't. Another one that I had fun with, and um, a lot different tone than Andor for sure. But
Much different and proper for the season. Like it would be like it'd be weird for like Werewolf by Night to have this type of a town for Halloween.
I am curious where you would fit this in your hierarchy of
Mm.
MCU Phase 4, like
It would
what
be
it was.
it would be up there.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely wasn't a just yeah, it would be up there. It was pretty enjoyable for me. And you saw the end credits too, where he said that Groot ruined Christmas again. He's gonna have to forget to do another one of these specials. And I thought, wait, what are you trying to say? Because I also was trying to figure out the Kevin Bacon was like at Easter, and I was trying to
Oh,
figure out
I'm ready. I want
was
to.
that
This is what I want. I want a little special for every holiday: President's Day,
yeah.
Valentine's Day. I don't know why I went with President's Day. Martin Luther King Day. Arbor Day, whatever, Flag Day, whatever, whatever we got to make up to give
Right?
us little specials
Well,
and them just having fun.
yeah,
Because as Fargate said, this was a second unit stuff breaks on filming the movie, so they
yeah,
can do this. They already have the outfits,
yeah,
and the
they're already
guy that's playing Groot, our Vin Diesel's already wearing that outfit.
exactly.
Dude, thank you. Groot looks like someone wearing a Groot outfit. That's
He
exactly what I
did,
said.
but I saw on Instagram on James Gunn's one of his
You're not even on
Instagram
Instagram
stories.
anymore. You didn't see that.
Yes, I did, and
Liar.
I sent you a snappy shot of it, and I
That's not
sent
what
it
it's
to
called.
you. I know, but I still sent it to you.
That's
So
not what it's
look,
called.
Omar, he said it was all CGI, that it
It
wasn't
was
fake. Now,
no,
granted, the other aliens were definitely practical effect makeup and stuff. You could tell.
oh yeah, especially the band because that
Oh,
looked
man,
rough.
yeah, it was
But then
fun.
again, they got to move around and like the
They gotta
guy
play
with it. That was a practical
He's like,
effect.
"Where'd you get these instruments?" Oh god, that was funny. Um,
Uh, yeah.
well,
All right.
apparently them buying Nowhere is going to play significantly into the plot of the third movie. So I've read
They wait. They doing what?
buying Nowhere, the planet that's going to play into
Dude,
the plot.
we already got too much plot in 3. Adam Warlock, the search for Gamora.
I'm so excited
Uh,
for Adam Warlock.
What else did
I love that.
were we expecting in Guardians 3? There was something else. Oh no, they done broke up with Thor, so that's not happening.
That's fine. Even Thor's done broke up with Thor now. He's
Easy, easy. Don't give up on Thor. Look, we've had some. Let me tell you something. In the world of comics, we've had some shit runs on Thor, and we always come back to Thor with the hopes that it gets a better run. Bradley Cooper was really in a raccoon costume. Lie.
yeah.
So, for anybody that has seen this special, what would you rate it out of 10, and where would you place it on your hierarchy of
We're doing it
MCU?
by our hierarchy that we made, our tier maker.
Yeah, which I don't have with me anymore. But Amanda, what would you rate this out of 10? Would you rate this?
I would give this, I think, a 9 out of 10 because
9
there
out of 10.
there were some things that maybe didn't really hit for me, and that was some of the jokes maybe didn't land. But once they got back to nowhere, and the Guardians really work well together when they're all together. There is something about their chemistry as a group that is what made us love those movies to begin with, right? So that's where I feel like
right. It's not about Chris Pratt. It's not about Gamora.
No.
It's not about Drax. Drax would not have worked without everybody else.
Yeah.
And
I do feel like I was missing Gamora too a little bit. Like I was missing the Zoe Saldana of it all. For like, there's something that she brought to their chemistry that I was kind of missing as well. So, like, she was another stable character in a list of very eccentric characters. Does that make sense? Like, two makes. If I did like Cosmo, wonderful addition. Love that dog. So happy to see her.
Played by Borat's daughter. I tell you, you know what? Here's something. I don't think I've ever said this, but Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon has never grown on me. I don't know why. Because in my head, I always read Rocket Raccoon like a British dude, like Rowan Atkinson. Rowan Atkinson as Rocket Raccoon to me would have been perfect casting. But I don't know. It's just it's not that I hate it. It's just it's there. It's his voice, and I'm okay with it. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't need to. Nebula dancing did make me laugh because it just reminded me of so many concerts I've been to where I've seen people dance like that. So you gave it a 9 out of 10. I think for me this was a 7.5 out of 10. It was good. It was good. Yeah, it was good. Some crappy special effects, but I kind of expected that. I like the nods definitely to Danny Elfman's music, his scores.
Yeah,
I like the nods to the fonts of like Christmas, like classic Christmas movies, like A Christmas Carol or Muppets Christmas Carol, and of course the Star Wars holiday special nod with the cartoon. So for me, 7.5 out of 10. Let's see what everybody else has said. What is a snappy shot of snappy shot out of 10? 9.5 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, 9.5. I watched it 3 times this weekend. Mantis shine in this. She was hilarious. She was. Nebula dancing needs to be a meme. I'm surprised it's not. I'm sure it is. Nebula screaming, "You can't run from me." That meme. Germ was not a fan. Well, I don't know. You can still be a fan. 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 from Bargate. But yeah, I'm ready for some Guardians of the Galaxy Easter special.
Is that a thing? See, at first I was like, when was the original Guardians release date? For they pushed it back to May because wasn't it supposed to be around Easter? Because that would have been really cute if that was it. I know it's just the MCU of it all that I'm trying to read into everything that's being said, but I'm sure it's just
7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. If James Gunn wants to make the perfect DC holiday one-shot, the Lobo paramilitary Christmas special. Oh, Lobo's coming. He's a big fan of Lobo.
Yeah,
and so
I can 100% see him doing a Peacemaker one with no issue.
I'm ready for Peacemaker season 2, baby.
Oh, I can't wait.
A lot of jokes didn't land for me. I get it. I was the same way with Thor, Love and Thunder.
And that's why I think it takes them being together, and that's where things hit differently.
Right. You can only take so much of 2 stupid characters not understanding everything.
Yes.
I get it. It.
That's
Mm-hmm. Guardians Volume 3 was originally Black. What? was originally Black Widow's original date.
Good night.
What? Oh, and then they canceled
Oh,
James Gunn.
yes. So
Then
then
he
they
got his
pushed it
job
back.
back. Then they postponed it. That because he was already committed to doing Suicide Squad 2
Yeah.
and Peacemaker after that. Gotcha. Okay. Man, that should have come out a while back. 'Cause we could have had 5 movies. Damn.
Yeah. They really
Uh,
jumped on canceling him over those stupid tweets.
well, that's what happens when you put yourself out there
Yep.
on social media. So really quick, here's a recap of our review. That I and no, I'm not sure why Amanda added that,
I
but
don't
we have
know.
we do we
What
love
made
this
me so
part.
happy?
This part, like Amanda's writing all kinds of fanfics just about this.
Just I can't wait to see what
And then
happens.
my one addition to the show is Cyril Creepy's obsession with what's her face.
We did not do it
That's a
on
really hot picture behind him, though. So I don't blame him. That's a pretty hot picture. And that is our show for tonight. Have y'all seen? I do have to ask. I don't think we've ever talked about this
what?
before we leave tonight. What's your favorite holiday movie?
Ooh.
What's your all's favorite Christmas holiday movie? I'm curious because I'm always. My brothers and I had a really good conversation about this. Like, what's your all-time best holiday movie? Like one that yeah, and sometimes it's different than the traditional one that you watch every year. It just happens to be your favorite one. For a lot of people, it could be a classic, Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
My wife's is a Muppet Christmas Carol. My brother's is Scrooged, which I almost agree with. A lot of people love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is a freaking amazing movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, it is.
And it had me thinking, what is mine? There's a lot that I like.
I don't
I'm curious
know.
what everybody else's is.
Well, you see a lot of them. Let's see. Die Hard? Question mark by
I
Matt.
showed Die Hard to my daughter a couple of years ago. She loved it. National Lampoon's is classic. I love it.
Yep. Christmas Story. Which did you saw the sequel, right?
Yeah, dude, I was A Christmas Story. Christmas had me bawling.
It was
Like,
really good.
it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I think it's Scrooged. I love Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Charlie Brown and Prep and Landing.
Prep and Landing. I don't know that one.
don't know.
Charlie Brown, yeah, I've seen that. Home Alone seems to be a popular one.
Home Alone's one of ours, and not just because now it's my daughter's favorite film and she wants to watch that all the time. But Elf, probably Home Alone or Elf would be mine. Elf, I can watch. I want to watch every.
And I feel like
of my that's my where I was my college. My own.
I was gonna say there's.
But I'll give you what, guys. If you haven't seen Spirited on Apple TV Plus,
here we go.
Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds doing some tap dancing and singing. There's a song they do together called Good Afternoon that is so catchy. And we find ourselves singing it around the house right now all the time. The story itself is a little long-winded, I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell's comedies meshed, and it doesn't always hit. I'm sure Omar would not like it because Octavia Spencer's in it and she sings, but it still has some good songs because they're written by the guys from La La Land and The Greatest Showman. Anyway,
yeah, that's how you win me over. The Life Adventures of Santa Claus 1985. That's a good one. I like that one. Gremlins. I feel like I missed the train on things like Elf because I was out of high school when that came out. Or I think people there's a big cult following for Polar Express, which
is so weird.
Really rough when I saw parts of it. I never did see the whole thing. Or The Grinch. I did see that. I took a girl out on a date. The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, that's
there's a big cult following with that one too. And I can see that because Nightmare Before Christmas wasn't huge at the box office. It had a huge reason why it's so big was because aftermarket. Or when it was released on home video and stuff.
Yes.
Prep and Landing, so many good jokes. I tell you what I did like was Klaus, the animated show last year.
Yeah, it got nominated.
Really good. And I liked 8-Bit Christmas. I thought 8-Bit Christmas was good. Had a lot of heart. Garfield had a good Christmas.
That's right.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Oh.
Spirited.
Pixar said Spirit is great. Thank you.
He agrees.
Yeah, you should listen to that. Good afternoon. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Bob Iger is back to institute a twerk free MCU. I don't know about all that, but I am glad. If you guys don't know,
I don't
I
know
love
about
this
all
man so
that.
much. I have his book, The Ride of a Lifetime, displayed. That's how much I love Bob Iger. I love that man, and I am so happy that he's back. Not because of that, but
She has a portrait of him above her bed, like on
I
her
want him to.
ceiling,
I want him
on
to
her
fix the parks
bedroom
and make
ceiling.
them. I want him to make the parks cheap again for middle class Americans that can go and enjoy it with their families, and not just the upper class elite and Instagram influencers. That's all I want.
Okay.
But I want them to make better decisions. I mean, of all of the amount of money they could have made on all those Pixar movies that they just went straight to streaming is a travesty. They could have made a lot of money off those, and they just sent them all to streaming instead. And that's, you know, put all their eggs in one basket, and they lost a lot of money because of it. Anyways, we could talk about the business side of Disney some other time. We're talking about Christmas. That was my Christmas wish.
Glass Onion Friday. Is that the Knives Out thing? Or am I
Yeah,
thinking?
so it's only going to be in theaters for like a week, and then it's going to be out of theaters until
Mm.
the middle of December or December 23rd, and then we can see it on Netflix. So I guess I'm just have to wait till December 23rd and watch it then. But I hear it's really good.
Kiss Kiss, Bang Bang, and Nice Guys. Those are Christmas movies?
It's
Polar Express, right to the garbage,
yeah,
dude.
I
The,
think
the CG in that was so awful, but I'm not hating on it because I realize it's got a huge fan following. Anybody watching Tom Allen's show called The Santa Claus?
oh, Fargate, I
No,
am.
Tim Allen. Yeah.
Yes, we're watching it.
I
Yeah.
was in another cult classic that
That would be see
I'd
it's
never
it's
watched.
when you grow up. See, like I was a child or not a child,
You
like
were not a child. You're older than I am, so I know you.
95. It was I was like in elementary, middle,
I was in
almost
high
middle school
school.
when it came out.
Yeah.
And yes, I am watching it. Poor Bernard the elf is not back, but he is an adult man now, so that makes sense.
Wait a minute, in Martin Short, isn't he Jack Frost in those
Yeah, but
movies?
he's gone. That was Santa Claus 3. He's gone
Oh,
now.
my bad. I'm sorry. Just
Yeah.
trying to chime in the
So
conversation here.
hard.
Trying to add something. Jim
But-
Carrey, Grinch is garbage. Fact.
Yes.
Classic Grinch cartoon is the only
My
one.
daughter likes the Benedict Cumberbatch one that Illumination put out
Your
about
daughter is wrong. Your
2.5, 3 years ago, and it's kind of I think it's kind of cute.
Stop it. Stop it, you two. This is a positive conversation.
You're so right. Oh,
Omar, did you give Melanie your Christmas list? I really don't have one, man. I'm happy. I don't need anything. I'm good. Thank you, brother. Though I like the first Santa Claus movie. I think I may have seen it when I was in high school. My wife, that is her favorite Christmas movie, The Muppet Christmas, and she likes both the original cut and the director's cut. And that damn song makes me and her cry every time. The one that was left out of the original cut, or he's talking about his youth and the love that got away. Oh my gosh, screw that. She has the vinyl. She loves that movie. I'll hate on the Polar Express, that Uncanny Valley guys, dude. It's got a big fan following.
Does it?
Her Bernard cameo.
Cool. That'd be cool to see that actor come back. Yeah.
I don't even know what you people are talking about. We made a list of our
The
favorite
numbers
Christmas
actor.
stuff to watch, and we just started Hawkeye. Hawkeye was so fun. I liked it. Good
We
job.
should rewatch that for Christmas. Yeah, that's a good
It's
idea.
such a good book or movie, show, whatever. That's
Whatever
the
it is.
cranberry hitting. Martin Short is solving murders in the building with Steve Martin and wait a
He
minute.
is.
You got Martin Short and Steve Martin. Has anybody told Chevy Chase they're hanging out so we can get a Three Amigos reunion?
I don't think they're going to be working with Chevy Chase anytime soon.
Why? What did he do? Please don't tell me that guy.
I don't know. I just assume that they don't like. I just assume that they don't really. He if he doesn't, he has problems. No, I just always assume because he has problems working with everyone else. I assumed he had problems working with them too.
No, those guys are old like he is. He doesn't have problems working with old people. It's
but they were with Selena Gomez. They're like hip old men.
Now they're not. Have you seen Martin Short and Steve Martin? They're not.
Yes, have you seen Only Murders in This Building? Because they are fantastic in that.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, you really should. It is a really great.
I just want a Three Amigos reunion. I love those movies. I love those.
No one wants to tell Chevy Chase anything.
The Night Before with Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and Joe. I saw that.
Yeah.
No one wants to tell Chevy Chase. No, come on, man. Are we hating on Chevy Chase? What happened?
Yeah, Chevy
What
Chase.
happened to Chase? Did he
More
mess
Christmas
up?
Vacation
I don't.
selections.
I don't doubt it. I bet he did mess up. That guy he was always difficult to work with, even on his days
Well,
on
ever
set.
since everything that came out with Community, I think is what really set him on that. No one wants to work. Like that's where it all kind
That
of started.
Community, no way, man. This goes back to Belushi when they got into a freaking fight
There we go.
on Saturday Night Live. He's always been difficult to work with because he thinks, and I get it, because he sees other people, you see other comedians like Bill Murray and other comedians become successful later on in life. And
Yeah.
he never had that. He could have. He had plenty of chances to go and become the success that all his co-hosts did. Omar, you should do a review of the best Christmas comic stories. Huh.
That'd be fun.
I don't know what Only Murder is, but you guys are kind of selling me on it.
You
You guys
should.
haven't watched Only Murders in the building.
Yeah, Paul Rudd is in season 3. He's at the end of season 2. You should.
How many seasons is this stupid show I haven't even heard of? Only Murders
it is
Fire. Okay.
You really need to watch it.
You sold a man on Paul Rudd. Sell me.
Well, no, I've already seen. I'm caught up. I forgot. Yeah, he's at the Paul Rudd makes a brief appearance in the end of the last episode of season 2, and what happens is what will be the main storyline for season 3.
I hate you, Fargate.
What is he really? Fantastic.
Shut up. That's not true. Chevy Chase doing Raising Cane's commercial voiceovers now.
That is fantastic.
He was in all the vacation movies. We need another vacation movie and not one with Ed Helms. That was horrible.
That was bad. There's just certain things we don't need to do. That was one of them.
We don't need a vacation movie with those people.
No.
Outside of the holiday movies, I did watch all the horror movies finally, and without going into spoilers, Nope was phenomenal. I think still Barbarian is my favorite one.
I'll have to watch Nope.
Nope was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Did not like Smile. I thought it was way too cheesy, way predictable, and I understand why people
overhyped.
Well, it's just not my type of horror movie. There's no thinking in it, and it's just jump scares, and they're not even that good. But the best one I saw was this movie called Deadstream. If you guys have not seen Deadstream, it is freaking brilliant. It's streaming on Shudder right now. This episode's not brought by Shudder, but it is so good. I strongly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. Barbarian, I think, still takes the top, but Deadstream was phenomenal.
Don't forget about Terrifier 2.
Terrifier 2 was good. It was long, and it could have done some edits. It was a lot better than Smile, but it was good. I liked it. They should have brought back AMH instead of casting Ed Helms. They should have brought back, the original cast. They all should have been in it.
Yeah.
X was pretty fun. X was pretty fun. I liked it too. I haven't seen Pearl. That's another one that I need to watch. Pearl was the other one on my list. I haven't seen that one. But Nope surprised me how good it was because I was not a fan of Us at all. I liked like the first part of Us, didn't like the last part.
You liked the last time.
But I mean, I thought What's It Called was a masterpiece, was a modern horror masterpiece. The first one that Peele did.
Get Out.
Get Out. Yeah, that one was awesome. Was 1899 good? I saw that there was some controversy behind it, that the Brazilian comic book writer is suing.
Yes.
And here's the thing with those, like whenever you see a lawsuit by a graphic novel writer, doesn't matter. Did it end Shia LaBeouf's career? No. Shia LaBeouf is still making movies. He just paid someone out. He completely ripped off a graphic novel creator, taking his story and making it into a movie. And
which one was that?
Oh, it was that independent movie he did before. Like, this is what kind of got him in trouble, but paid off the graphic novel writer. I mean, Avatar, same thing, right? Got sued by a small company. It sucks. Like, doesn't matter. These people get paid off or they get bought out in court. It takes a lot of money to take these studios to court.
Yeah.
Nope was dope. Get Out. Yeah, Get Out. Will Us have a sequel called Them? I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I don't know if Jordan Peele's the kind of guy who's going to do that, but
I don't know if he'll do sequels or not. All right, Panda. Anything else to talk about?
Not tonight.
Welcome to the Marvel Studios Amazing Amanda and Uncanny Omar holiday special.
Yes, welcome to our. Yeah, we'll do a show on Wednesday. I just got to figure out what we're gonna do it on because I don't think we have anything to really review. So Omar and I might have to pull out some of our oldie but goodie things, like a was it really that bad, or unless there's something coming out that I'm not aware of. But as far as I know, movie-wise, the next big movie coming out is Avatar: Way of the Water, December.
When is Willow? When does Willow come out?
Oh, that's right. Thank you. I was trying to.
I just looked at my calendar and one of the
Yes.
things like
Oh,
watch Willow. I thought that was November.
that would have been November 30th. So, oh, well, no, yeah. So we could do that. So,
Wow, there were so many emotions going on.
so we'll probably do a Willow. We'll probably do a Willow review.
Is it episode 1 or is it going to be like 2 or 3 episodes?
I don't know. That's what I'm gonna find out right now.
I'll review the shit out of Willow the movie all day, every day, and then we can review Willow the series. I love that movie. Is Ron Howard playing any role in this? George Lucas, Chris Claremont? Probably
I'm
not.
sure they're executive producers, but other than that, I don't know if they're playing an active role in it. Besides,
you mean somebody gave them a check?
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
They're getting a check. I got you.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah,
So we'll probably do Willow then, since that's November 30th, because that'll be really awesome.
You heard it here first. November 30th.
Willow.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
At what time, Amazing Amanda?
Probably 9 o'clock again.
Probably 9 o'clock again. 9 p.m.
Standard time. Unless something happens and Omar need to push it forward to like 8, but we'll probably do 9 o'clock.
Yeah, if at all possible. I think I'll be our new time for now, for the time being. But this was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hit that like button on the way out. It does help out a lot. Check us out on Patreon and Spreadshop. Great ways to support the channel. All right, Amazing Amanda, take us out.
Sounds good. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at NearMintCon. Remember to check us out on our Spreadshop for some great near mint condition merchandise.
Near mint.
Check us out on, or whatever that is. And then also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support us here on this channel and all that we do to provide this great entertainment for you on a daily, weekly basis. And of course, last but not least, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Good journey, everyone. And we will see you back here on Wednesday for some Willow.
I don't think that lady's going to come back. I think she's
God damn it.
dead for a long time. She was